there seemed to be a recurrence of black women just being totally disrespected by white men. All right. And we already know that there's too much disrespect for black women by black men. So somehow we're going to have to come to grips with this situation. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Cynthia McKinney is a former Congresswoman. She was on a pleasure boat heading to Gaza. And they were taking relief supplies to the people of Gaza. An Israeli warship intercepted them, rammed their boat, as you heard earlier, arrested them, and jailed them in Israel. Now, if that's not enough, an FOP official from down in Atlanta, Georgia, told Mayor Shirley Franklin about a month and a half ago that she ought to just sit down and shut up, because what he feels like doing is taking a baseball bat and going upside of her head with it. That's a white male in a public meeting talking to a black woman. There's got to be something wrong with that. And then just last week, the city council president in Macon, Georgia, was in a meeting. It was a commission meeting of some sort, whereby this white councilman was like the chair of the committee. So even though she was president of the council, it did not make her in charge of this particular meeting. This man told this black woman, in essence, to sit down and shut up. Don't get involved in his meeting. Councilwoman Paris, who is the president of the Macon City Council, abided by what he said, but her son didn't like it very much. And her son followed the council person out of the meeting room to his office and suggested to him that never, ever again should he disrespect his mother that way. Well, naturally, the police were called. And the first police officer on the scene investigated the situation, did not make a decision, called for a supervisor. The supervisor came and ultimately arrested this young man and cited him into court on some kind of a conduct unbecoming charge. The councilman was talking about charging this young man with terrorist threats for just simply telling him he better not treat his mother that way anymore. As I said here on a show not too long ago, I can remember being in Tuskegee City Council when Bill Freeman yelled and screamed and disrespected Mayor Lucina Williams Dunn the same way. Told her something to the effect that your picture ought to be in the dictionary next to cantankerous or some other word, some related word that he used. And I can remember getting up, going to the mic and advising City Councilman Bill Freeman that he better not ever treat Mayor Dunn that way anymore. And you know what I had to do to make up my mind to do that? I had to make up in my mind that I was going to go up to the mic and I was going to intelligently take Bill Freeman, the white city councilman, on. But I would be prepared to go anywhere he wanted to take it. I had to make a choice, really. I just had to make a commitment along with that choice that if he was ignorant enough to take it to a different level, whether or not I was going to go into that level with him. And if he upped it to even worse level, whether or not I was going to go to that level with it. Because I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. And I made that commitment before I even went to the mic, that wherever it went, I was going with it, reputation or not, arrest or not, you know. And of all the men in the city council room in Macon, Georgia, other than Mrs. Parris' son, no men said anything. In Atlanta, in that meeting, several black men were involved in that meeting. Not a single black man said a word. Don't you think it's time that black men understand that black women have carried us long enough? And that black women deserve our love, trust, respect, and even more significantly, protection by us from any source out there who would want to demean them, berate them, or do harm to them. Men, come on now. Come on, men. It's just time for us to stand up and represent something rather than nothing.